To the story of Cardathia, she called for freedom, she yearned for legend, dreaming of splendid adventure. Will the prophecy manifest? Will I be the maiden who's blessed and walk down the glory path? Bring honor and brightness back. Wipe out all the enemies in sight. There is no
Welcome,
turning
Memphis.
back this time. Will
Congratulations
they
on first.
realize? Will they realize? Will the laurel be placed on my head? One day we shall cheer and dance, making joy forever last. Prophecy is nothing but a vicious lie. Here comes the growling dark tide. The more pain she feels, the clearer she sees. Halos of divine are fading. I can hear the bell of fate sound. It's high time to turn it around. I'll carry on my glorious journey with the blessings and wish by my side. Won't accept the fate that is set. There is no turning back this time. This will realize, it will realize. Truth in my heart never dies. I'll pierce through all the veils of lies with the silver sword in my hand. Divinity blindfolded me, wrap me in ice like ocean's mist. I'm still that girl, carry the hopes. I'll break the shackles, free the souls trapped in those dark wells. Nothing can stop me walking down this path, bringing honor and blessings back. Won't accept the fate that is set. There is no turning back this time. Will be true, will be true. Be a closure for this myth book. One day we shall cheer and dance, making joy forever last. Birds, please send this song to the souls who are weighed down by grief, yet find the strength to believe. Weave a dream with me on the tapestry of times. Strum my strings for the endless dance of time. To fly is not to flee, but to journey towards the dreams. All the hopes will set us free from doubts and fears deep within. Let the sunrise kill the wings, let the twilight soothe our skin. In the sky we're forever wild and free. It's a journey towards the dreams. All the hopes will set us free from doubts and fears deep within. Let the sunrise kill the wings. Let the twilight soothe our skin. In the sky we're forever wild and free. I can hear the bell of fate sound. It's high time to turn it around. Will the prophecy manifest?
Salutations, hola, konnichiwa, and hello, and welcome to Rainbows End, the dynamic talk show where the real treasure is the stories and memories we share together. And I'm Niji, your host and visual novel waifu. And today is a very special day. Today it is Friday the 13th, Freya's feast day. So, first of all, Friday is actually named for Freya. It is Friday. That is where the word Friday comes from. And 13 is her number. It is her special number. So that means that Friday the 13th is Freya's feast day. It is her special day. And so I wanted to take today to celebrate my goddess Freya on her special day, Friday the 13th. So today's theme of the day is Freya. And today's word of the day is periskeviketriophobia, which means a fear of Friday the 13th. And triskaidekaphobia is the fear of the number 13. So, the reason that the number 13 is considered unlucky and feared is largely a Christian thing, and one of the reasons that 13 is considered unlucky is because Christians didn't like Freya because she was considered the queen of witches, which she is. She is a goddess of love and magic and beauty and sex and Valkyries, war, death, the afterlife. In particular, she is the leader of a pantheon called the Vanir, which are different from the Aesir. So Norse mythology has basically the distinct pantheons, whereas the Aesir are the ones who hail from Asgard. The Vanir are separate. And the Vanir, another name for Freya is Vanadis, the Lady of the Vanir. And Freya is somewhat mysterious, and the Vanir in general, partly because Christian colonists destroyed a lot of the information about her because they really didn't like that she was like a goddess of magic, not to mention a powerful woman. So she was largely oppressed. Her information about her and such. So there is not a lot of surviving information about her compared to the vast scope of what once existed. So because her number is 13 and because her day is Friday the 13th, those things became considered unlucky to Christians, and so then they spread that as like this whole big thing of being unlucky. That's also like Christians being afraid of magic and stuff is also the reason that that black cats are considered unlucky, because it was thought that black cats were like a witch or a witch's familiar, or like a cat thief in disguise, and you know, so either witch is familiar, fey trickster, or demon, and so they just had this belief that cats were bad because of that, black cats. But with both of those things, with cats, with black cats and with Freya, it is for those same reasons that I consider them good luck. I believe that I like magic. I like witches. I like paganism, all that stuff. And Christians, historically, politically, wanted to make all of those things out to be like the devil and such. But, at the end of the day, it is just different ideas and beliefs. And so, personally, I consider 13 to be a blessed number, a number blessed by Freya. I consider Friday the 13th to be a day that is especially blessed by Freya, a day to honor her, a day to revere her, and that's why I am here to inform about her. And to that effect, let's see, I have this book that we'll be reading from. Also, the question of the day is, what's a godly feat that really impressed you? So let me just go ahead and post that and pin it manually. And furthermore, let me see. Let's see. So our schedule for the day is educate about Freya, read from a book about Freya. And depending on how long that takes, if I burn through all of that really quickly, I might possibly play more Wooba or something after. But that's that just depends on how long this takes, and like I am not going to be continuing to stream into the night, so I'm not going to make this like a super long stream, and I am already starting a bit late. But I have plans at later at night, so I want to be out of here in no more than like 5 hours from now-ish. So, I'm not like, this isn't a thing where I'm going to just like stream for 8 hours or something. I'm like, at a certain point, I am hard cutting myself off. But this reading from this book and everything, that could go pretty quick. Just depending. Or it could take a while. Because I'm a fucking yapper, and I'm very slow at reading. So we'll see. We very much shall see. And yeah, um, we'll do what we can. As for a godly feat that impressed me, honestly, Freya's Brisingman is apparently so powerful that she can just burn an entire army of like divine beings out of existence. She could just snap her fingers and be like, bam, they're dead. They don't exist anymore. They're just gone. Um, and let's see. Um, so Freya is also known as Queen of the Valkyries. She also rules over the realm of Folkvanger, and much like the Asgardians have their sacred hall of Valhalla, Freya has her own hall in her realm, and her hall is called Sesrumner. Sesrumner is golden halls, and for for the most part, like most of the for like it is said that that Odin takes half of the fallen warriors into Valhalla, and Freya takes the other half into Sesrumner. It is also some interpretations are that Freya takes the women and Odin takes the men. For the most part, with some exceptions. And also being that Freya is like the queen of the Valkyries and the Valkyrie goddess, the one who like trains them. For the most part, Sesrumner is where Valkyries live. I believe that Valkyries can also live like in Valhalla and such as well, but most of them hail from Sesrumner and Folkvanger. And honestly, Freya's realm of Sesrumner sounds really nice. It sounds like it's like golden halls. It sounds really, really fancy. First of all, it sounds really, really pretty, and like it sounds just very like just lovely, liberating, open. So it seems like it seems like a pretty nice afterlife to go to. Interestingly, it is kind of considered a hell, but it's not like. But even though it's a hell, it seems like a pretty nice place. It seems like, while it can be classified as a hell, like it seems like it's pretty damn heavenly, in fact. So, yeah, that's a little bit about Freya. I'm sure that I could think up more things to tell you, like she has a chariot drawn by cats that oh you know what, one lovely story I want to mention. She was so she was tricked into well, not tricked, she was they demand Ymir demanded that Freya be his wife. And so she made a plan with Thor. And so basically she sent Thor in her place. So Thor pretended to be Freya to trick Ymir. And it's really funny to think that, because it's like, okay, so on the one hand, either Freya used magic to make Thor look like her, make Thor like a beautiful demure woman, or that means that Thor just is a like or that would mean that Freya just has a similar build to Thor to begin with, which would be adorable and hilarious. um and part of me likes imagining that Freya is this demure, elegant, um somewhat petite but buxom Valkyrie woman. But part of me loves the idea that she is a big fucking strong woman that um that she looks muscular and she can just fucking snap you like a twig with two fingers. Um I kind of really like both ideas. So, in any case, let's see. So, the book that we're going to be reading from is this book called Goddess Alive, Inviting Celtic and Norse Goddesses into Your Life, by Michelle Skye. So I have no frame of reference for this book. I have no clue if this is a good book. I have no clue if it's an accurate book. I have no clue about anything with this book. So I've done zero quality control with this. I haven't read a single sentence from it other than the title and some of the entries in it. So this book has several goddesses in it. But what we're doing is we're just going to read the portion about Freya specifically, which actually is quite a few pages. It starts on page 75 and ends on page 91, so that's 15 pages. Which, considering I'm slow as shit at reading, that might take up several hours of stream. But we'll find out. Actually, before I do that, let me see if I can actually find a picture of Goddess Alive. Because if I can put that picture up instead, that would make more sense. Michelle, what's her name? Michelle Skye. Save images. Goddess Alive. Okay. Now let's see if I can actually put it up as an image. Yeah, so that's it. This is Goddess Alive. This is the book that we are reading from. Again, I have no quality control here. I do not know if this is a good book. I do not know if it's accurate. I do not know, the, what sort of personal biases or liberties the author may have taken. like, you know, for all I know, this may only be like loosely based on stuff, and it might just be a complete work of fiction, or it might be like just very cool, very spiritual, very accurate. You know, who knows? It might resonate with me very heavily. I might read it and be like, okay, well, this is cool, but I disagree. You know, I have literally no clue. So although I am reading from this book and I am showing it, um, I am not I'm not by any means recommending that people go out and buy this book, not endorsing the book in particular, but it is the book that we are reading from, and we are going to um we're going to be reading from it, and yeah, we're going to see what we can learn about Freya, because honestly, like, 15 pages is considerably more pages than I think I could write about Freya if I was taking simply the actual, like, stories and, like, and like mythological known facts about her, uh, all that kind of stuff. I don't think I could be the one to write 15 pages about her. So I'm actually very interested, because I very much might learn something new about Freya myself. And that's very interesting, because I like to think of myself as a bit of an expert in Freya. Maybe expert is a bit of a stretch. Like, I might be giving myself a bit too much credit there. But, hold on, I'm checking something. Let's see. Because there's like categories and stuff. So I'm checking the headlines, okay? So the title is Meeting Freya, Norse Goddess of Love and War, Beltane. She's also a goddess of magic and other stuff. But that is a fair summary. Let's see. And the first category says Freya, Lady of Abandon. I just went to skew around a little to see what the categories are, just to get a little bit of an idea. Beltane, fertility reigns. Okay. Guided meditation, a spiritual love affair. Invocation to Freya. Activity, create a Beltane mask. Ritual, a maypole party. Okay. That's really cool. So it's not just like this is who she is. It's also like things to sort of invoke and celebrate her. I actually really like that. I like that a lot. I kind of thought that might be what was in it, but I think that's really cool. Okay, so we're going to aim to read at least these first few pages, which is Freya, Lady of Abandon, which I think is the basic the information about who she is. So that's our initial plan. Okay, we're going to do that, and we're going to see how far we get. And we'll take it from there. So, without further ado, I'm going to take a sip of my chai tea and then we'll start reading. Delicious chai tea. Okay. Meeting Freya, Norse goddess of love and war. Beltane. Freya, Lady of Abandon. Freya is the goddess that women want to be and men want to possess. She is completely comfortable in her own independence, her own ferociousness, her own sexual power. She does not need anyone but desires them all, with a shamelessness that would make a stripper blush. Abso-fucking-lutely. That's me, that's my fucking woman. Societal rules and regulations, mores and morals. Mores. I don't know what mores means. Mores and morals. Societal rules and regulations, mores and morals do not apply to Freya. She is her own lady, bringer of wealth, love, fertility, and death. Absolutely. That's so true. Yeah, like, literally, she's like a goddess of the afterlife, so she could fucking just murder a bitch, and she has. You also pray to her for, like, love and fertility. You also pray to her for wealth, so that's all very true. I'm already really liking this, reading this out loud. Yeah, abso-fucking-lutely. This first paragraph already, immediately, abso-fucking-lutely. That's my kind of woman. That's like me. Like, I want to be like that when I grow up. I'm already pretty like that, honestly. Like, I mean, I would say that I'm not. I guess it depends on the context of independence, because I'm not very, like, independent in general, but in love specifically, as much as I am very loving and love other people, I don't really, like, feel like I am in desperate need of partners. Even though I crave it, it's like, I don't need it though. It's fine. If it's not the end of the world if I don't have a romantic or sexual partner. Like, I can go a long time without love or sex, because I'm happy just having wonderful people in my life and everything. So, let me see. I'm not very ferocious, but I am completely comfortable with my sexual power. She does not need anyone but desires them all. Yeah, that sounds like it's romantic. Like, I'm not super independent, but I am independent in the way that, like, well, I don't know. Like, romantically, I don't need anyone. I really want them though. So like it says, does not need anyone but desires them all, with a shamelessness that would make a stripper blush. Yeah, that's fucking me. Societal rules and regulations, mores and morals do not apply to Freya. Yeah, I don't really care for, like, societal regulations. I'm just like, I care for what I deem, like, moral and right and fair and everything, Like, the world doesn't really like Polly, and I'm like, okay, I don't care. Fuck you. I like it. Let's see. She is her own lady, bringer of wealth, love, fertility, and death. Amazing. God, this is already so cool. Honestly, it feels so nice being cozied up with my goddess. It's like, it just, reading one paragraph already makes me feel closer to her. All right. Sorry. But I'll keep reading. Freya is a member of the Vanir, one of two pantheons that comprise Norse divinity. In general, the Vanir are closely connected to the earth, to the fertility of the planet, and the people and animals who live upon her. The Aesir, the other clan of deities, are similar to sky beings, working with universal and mythical forces that are almost too large for humans to comprehend. Most of the Norse gods and goddesses in the Poetic and Prose Eddas, medieval texts of Norse mythology, are members of the Aesir. Some historians speculate that the Vanir and Aesir were actually two different groups of ancient people with diverse cultural focuses. The varying gods and goddesses focused on the specific need of each society. The Vanir for an agricultural society, and the Aesir for a pastoral society. When the two societies met, they fought, just as their gods fight in the Seeress's prophecy in the Poetic Edda, and eventually the two cultures merged. Freya, her twin brother Freyr, and their father, Njord, go to live among the Aesir as a sign of truce between the divine clans. Yeah, okay. Yes. So, Freyr, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Freyr, Freya's twin brother, he is the god of elves. He is the ruler of Alfheim. Um, so, both Freya and her brother are very important. Um, I don't actually think I've heard the name of their father, though. I think this might be new information to me. Njord. Interesting. So I do know that Freya has two daughters, Nos and Gersemi. But I don't think I knew of the name of her father. So that's very interesting. And this is also very interesting, the idea of cultures, because I also have heard that the Vanir were potentially like a separate religion, basically, that kind of got meshed in with the Aesir, which is kind of part of the reason that they're so sort of like enigmatic and like mysterious. Because we don't know the names of most of the members of the Aesir, the Vanir. We just know that they exist. We know a few of them, and that's it. We know very, very little about the Vanir as a whole. Like, in general. Like, especially, like, individual members beyond, like, a couple of them. Mostly Freya and Freyr. Sorry, that was me taking a little aside from the book again. I am going to be commentating a lot, as you can see. I'm a fucking yapper. I hope you don't mind. Hopefully that improves the experience. Freya and Freyr are blood relations, but they are also divine lovers. Oh, really? That's new information to me. Following the construct of divine pairings and royal blood staying true, Freya and Freyr unite to ensure the fertility of the earth, as well as material wealth for all. Freyr is the fertile earth to Freya's energizing presence. He is the seed and she is the sun, warming the soil and coaxing the seed to be reborn. She is the raging fire to his calming earth, the spark that kindles his divinity. Interesting. Their relationship works in a way similar to the god and goddess union in Hindu mythology. The male god in the Hindu belief system lies inert and passive, waiting for the female goddess to awaken and empower him. Freya is the wild woman to Freyr's green man, the life force to his life vessel or container. Interesting. Okay, so that sounds like Freya and Freyr are, in fact, incestuous, which is interesting and also new information to me. And as a matter of fact, it's almost a bit contradictory to information that I did know, which is that Freya has a husband whose name escapes me. Oder, I believe his name is. And supposedly she was so loyal to him that he disappeared for years and she just waited for him. And one time when her husband was kidnapped or threatened or something, she killed a whole army with her Brisingamen. She just erased them from existence in her fucking wrath. It was just how dare you fucking touch my husband? So, being that I know her as an extremely devoted wife to Odir, it seems strange now, this information, that she may in fact be incestuous with her brother. But also, of course, Vish, you are a very supportive friend, always being here in chat, at least for a little bit. Usually the first one here. Not always, but usually. And that is plenty. You are very supportive, so thank you. So yeah, this, I mean, to be fair, you say always, but it's not always. It's often, but other people get first sometimes. Sometimes Tiger gets first, sometimes Alex gets first. It just depends. Honestly though, I if my fucking redeems were working right, I need to fix them, because if it was working right, the first redeem would tell how many times you've got first. And then you could lord your first number over everyone else's. Be like, haha. But I'm the most first. Which I'm pretty sure you are. I think that you are first more often than Tiger or Alex. But not always, because they do get it sometimes. You are always here early, though. Pretty much always. I think, I think there's only been a couple of times that you haven't been here early, and that's probably just because you were working at the time or something. Anyway, let's see. So that is very interesting. It is also possible that that this whole concept with Freya being...
You sit on a throne of lies.
I didn't even know that I had that. Good job. Thank you for the bits. When I it's okay. So Odir is Odir, Freya's husband, is very very mysterious. There's not much known about him, and in most stories, he's just absent. We don't actually see him interacting almost ever. And there is the theory that that Freya was kind of that Freya and Frigga, Odin's wife, were once the same figure, and that Odir is basically then another name for Odin. Uh, and so that potentially complicates things, and it kind of makes sense because the names sound similar. Freya and Oder, Frigga and Odin. Um, but also, just even whether or not that may be true, like just the fact that Odir is very like absent, not around. There's not a lot known about him. Just that he is Freya's husband, and that she is very devoted to him. That is a very sort of like strange thing, which is like, okay, well, I mean, so there are ways for Freya being the devoted wife of Odir to be true, and also for her to be incestuous with her brother to also be true at the same time, because it could be said that that the incest with her brother happened before she married a husband, or when after, like, maybe after her husband is no longer around. So that's interesting to think about. But it could also be like a thing that's like, oh, she's still faithful to her husband, but she's doing her duty to maintain like the balance of the universe and whatever with her brother. So that's interesting to think about. Okay, next it says Freya's powerful life spark is represented by two symbols, one modern and the other from the original sources of Scandinavian and Icelandic mythology. The simple heart was suggested by Edred Thorsson in his A Book of Troth to be a sign of the blessings of Freya, given to those who undertake her mysteries. Interesting. The heart is a stylized impression of the female genitals and or buttocks and indicates the life-giving power of female sexuality. I never realized that. I mean, I kind of was always like, a heart shape kind of looks like boobs or butt, but I never thought that that was like, I never once considered that that was intentional. I never thought like, oh yeah, a heart is clearly supposed to be like symbolizing a pussy and ass. But now that I think about it, that does make sense, and that makes me like heart symbols even more. Like, I kind of wondered why that the heart symbol was the symbol for a heart. I thought that it was just because like people didn't fucking know what the heart looked like when they drew it initially, so they were just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that the heart beating inside you looks something like this, and just nobody could really like contest it particularly, and also to draw what an anatomical heart looks like and try to make it like a symbol would also be very strange, because the heart is very awkwardly shaped. Like, it's not a thing that you can just like be like, oh, it's a cute little shape. It's like, no, it's like a weird bumpy mass. But yeah, I guess if the heart symbolizes genitals and buttocks, then that's great. That's awesome. That makes sense. I like that. The other, more ancient symbol is Freya's necklace, Brisingamen. Yes, her legendary relic, which she received from 4 dwarves after a night spent with each one of them. Oh. And you can almost bet that they weren't playing canasta. That's funny. Oh, wait, hold on. You know what? I like this lady. I like the way she writes. I'm gonna go ahead and now that they say that like the heart literally is a symbol of Freya and a symbol of her blessing, I'm going to do something special for chat. So a heart Okay. So as a visual novel waifu, I have a relationship level with Chatkun, and because in honor of my goddess, because hearts are a symbol of her, and because one of her aspects is love, and so today is a day of love, I'm going to add an additional heart just for that. Just because, just in honor of my goddess, without anybody having to do anything, I will gain an additional heart for the day. And yeah, so that takes us from Tomodachi to friend with benefits, and that puts us at 2 out of 7 hearts. If we reach 7 hearts, which is the maximum relationship level, something special happens. Sorry, I get derailed every single paragraph, but I'm really liking this. I have a lot to say about this. Actually, hold on. I wonder if I can see what Brisingamen looks like, because it says that like it's a symbol for her, but I've not really like seen it. Hold on. Brisingamen. Oh, holy shit. Brisingamen has its own Wikipedia article? Holy shit. Let's see. Okay. Interesting. It doesn't. Okay. It doesn't seem like good enough to be really like. It doesn't seem like recognizable enough for it to just like be a symbol, because it doesn't look like there is a consistent representation of it. But that is interesting. Anyway. In the Icelandic saga, the tale of Hogni and Hayden, Freya happens upon 4 dwarves who are just completing a beautiful necklace. Desiring it above all else, she offers them gold and silver in exchange for the piece of jewelry. They tell her that they have gold and silver aplenty, but they'll sell her the necklace for 4 nights of her love. She agrees, and, after 4 nights, leaves the dwarves adorned with her new necklace. The 4 dwarves are easily recognizable as the 4 dwarves who support the 4 directions in Norse mythology. Although their names are different, the number indicates a strong correlation between them. As Freya slept with each in turn, she gained knowledge of each direction and the corresponding 4 elements that craft our world: earth, air, fire, and water. This wisdom allowed her to embody the essence of life, taking it into herself and claiming it as her own. Freya's vast life-giving and revitalizing power is undoubtedly the reason that numerous giants tried to steal her or coax her into marriage, and the reason that Loki, the Norse god of cunning and mischief, tries to steal her necklace for Odin. Freya's power is stored in her necklace as well as in her body. Let's see. Okay. So that's also new lore to me. I didn't know this. So she gained the power of the four elements from sleeping with elemental dwarves, and that's how she not only got Verstingen, but also gained secrets of life itself. That's amazing. That's so cool, actually. I love that a lot. Sorry, I'm just clearing my throat and stuff. Norse mythology is rife with stories of Freya's sexual escapades, as she was not satisfied with just her brother Freyr and the four dwarves. In the Lokasena, in the Poetic Edda, Loki, not invited to an Aesir party, decides to attend anyway and stir up some trouble. He insults each god and goddess in turn. Freya stands up for Frigg, the wife of Odin, telling Loki that he is mad, and pointing out that he has done ugly, hateful deeds. Loki retaliates by pointing out some of Freya's deeds, saying, "Be silent, Freya, for fully I know thee. Sinless, thou art not thyself. Of the gods and elves who are gathered here, each one as thy lover has lain." Wow. Be silent, Freya, thou foulest witch, and steeped full sore in sin. In the arms of thy brother the bright gods caught thee, when Freya her wind set free. Let's see. And then there's like... Oh, actually, you know what? So there's some notes here, okay? So there's some notes at the bottom of the page. We're also about to hit an ad break, but before that, there's a couple of things. So this poem says Henry Adams Bellows, Transpoetic Edda, verses 30 and 32. Okay, so it says that she's just like sleeps with everyone, according to Loki. If that is to be believed, if Loki is in fact correct. Yeah, obviously in Loki's mind, the easiest way to insult Freya is through her abundant sexuality. Alright, so we finished reading 2 pages so far. And we are about to hit an ad break. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick ad break. And when we return, we will read some more. We'll start with the next page. So we're gonna take a 3-minute ad break. Go ahead and stretch, grab a snack, a drink, go potty, do whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, and we'll be right back after these messages.